What makes AbilityMap so powerful?
I would say it this way. We have a very strong descriptive framework. It's 31 different points. You compare that to something like a DISC or a Myers-Briggs that has 4 or 16 points of measure. We have 124 different points of measure in our system. So you can get to what the essence of that needs to be done and evaluate people to it. From a measurement standpoint, that's one component. But the most compelling side, in my opinion, is that, for example, I guarantee that Karina can perform 31 skills that we measure. Because everyone's been doing that since we were kids. We learned how to work with teams and set goals and use creativity. What we look at is how much does Karina actually want to do that? All right. So it's the degree of will she do it? Because if something is required to be done in a job, or a skill is required to be performed consistently, or you're in a team environment and there's certain human skills that are needed, yet you don't have a strong degree of will to do it, you're going to neck yourself eventually. You're probably not going to be very good at it. And so knowing that helps make sure that when we're working with you, when you're a teammate, when we hire you, when we move you into a new project, that we allow you to play your strength. And if you have some areas of friction, which we all do, that we can support you by giving you performance development support to do those things more easily, even though you don't dig doing them. So that's the power of the building.
It's a new world of AI. How does that play in with AbilityMap?
Oh, plays great. And maybe it's because I'm a little old school, but my personal view is that the AI we're using right now is the worst it'll ever be. I believe that we've abdicated too much responsibility broadly to allowing AI to make recommendations and to choose to act on what AI says without understanding it to a sufficient degree, particularly in really important areas like hiring people. Okay. So what we did at AbilityMap, and this was because of my co-founder, Kevin, is we used rigorous science that has millions of hits and instances and evidence as to why it has a high predictive validity and correlation to whether people were performing. We've embedded that science in our system. What AI is wonderful at right now is contextualizing our results to the environment in which it's in. But we do not use AI in any form of establishing our descriptive foundation. That's all done by our science, our algorithms. There will be a day when we embed that in AI, but not yet. Where we really find it's powerful is contextualizing the results relative to a specific company, a specific job role, a specific environment, so the user can really understand what that means in a contextually relevant area. It's very powerful there. AI will change, but I think fundamentally we are accepting risk of applying it in areas it has no business doing yet because it's the worst it'll ever be.
What's the aha moment you've seen with clients using AbilityMap?
Okay, the aha moment with clients. I'd probably say there are two. And they tie to the two founding tenets of what we do. One is that we define the requirements of what needs to be done by humans. And the second is we look at the degree of natural capability that a person has to perform what's needed. That's what AbilityMap does. So in defining what needs to be done, I'll use an example with a large sales organization of about 300 salespeople and 41 sales managers. Using our technology, we invited the 41 sales managers who all oversee salespeople in the same company, in the same country, the same environment. We said, hey, what do you think is most important for a salesperson to have? The natural skills. And now 41 sales managers, so we had 41 different views, and they cannot all be correct. But when we showed them what they thought collectively as a group, they all got there and they go, yep, that's what we want. That's what we want to go. And they said, yep, that's what we want. I go, well, check this out. We looked at your people, your 260 salespeople. Here's what they have strongest as a group. There are only two capabilities that were in common with what the sales managers wanted. The sales manager said, oh, I knew it. Talent acquisition isn't doing their job. And I said, guys, you're telling them 31 different things. Okay. So when we showed them what they want, and we showed them what they have across the team, what their high performers have, we were able to essentially make a data-informed decision about what they need. And the epiphany of that's what we want. For the first time, they defined what they actually need. and used evidence and science to make that decision. That's one epiphany. Now, the second epiphany that always happens, and I tell our clients this, is once they have what they need, you can assess people to figure out, well, do they have it or not? But what the epiphany that happens constantly, sometimes with new clients, it's usually with the executives that do this, is they interview Vanessa. Vanessa's great. They like her. And they go, oh, well, we got to run them through AbilityMap. When they run them through AbilityMap, the results come back. I usually get a call from a CFO, a CEO, a head of sales. And they go, Mike, I didn't observe these in the results at all. Okay. And I go, all right, well, I told you not to do it that way, but that's fine. You did. So the methodology that our clients get 93% definite rehire, what you should do is you should have done that first, but now you've got these questions that we've given you. And we've used AI to curate them to your environment. Go ask Vanessa these questions, okay? And they come back and have a structured interview with Vanessa that digs into the areas where she had friction performing what they need done. I bet you I've had 10 people come back and honest to goodness, I've probably had 10 people come back and essentially what they all say is, Mike, AbilityMap helped me dodge a bullet. Because we're letting our biases and subjective views of what we think a candidate can do. That's what we call the interview ninja. There's some people that interview really well. And if you're hiring salespeople, they're pretty bloody good at that stuff. But when you get objective measurement of people under rigorous science and consistent algorithms that are applied, not all AI changing all the time, consistent stuff, and you dig in and get structured observation, you see what you need to see. So that's second epiphany. Aha.
What results have you seen from the clients who have implemented AbilityMap?
There's sort of two or three sides of using AbilityMap. One is defining what you need and then looking at what you're working with. And that applies to hiring better. And that's where the biggest ROI is in hiring better. Because you're about to make a decision on somebody you don't have a lot of experience about. They can put whatever they want in their CV. They're using AI to write their CV, and you're using AI to interpret their CV. So you got two agents talking to each other, and humans haven't factored into it yet. But there's big opportunity there. The second is in moving people around. How do you know if someone's ready to progress to a manager role, or should it be a support role, or all that? So that's the second area. And third area is development. But because hiring has the highest return on investment, when customers apply our methodology, our science and our technology to get the insights and the prescriptive actions that we're recommending, and when they do those, they get very high definite rehire, that's the epiphany. All you have to do is go out and look at our case studies. Go look at Fast Cover. Go look at Smart Commercial Solar with Anastasia. Go look at Legacy Property. These people, when they're doing it right, they rely on objective third-party evaluation to make informed decisions. And when they do that, disco, it's good.